Good morning, travelers, and welcome to Uranus in Taurus. Wow. Well, we are beginning a 7-year transit. For those of you website members, I'm not exactly sure if that my article has come out. It may be scheduled for today. I'm not sure. But it is the one that tells you, if you're a sun Pisces, if you have your ascendant or your sun in Pisces, this transit will be hitting your second house. So I'm not exactly sure if that is right. But what I will do is I will record a short video and post up in the astrology gallery exactly where that is, looking at sun sign charts, and this will only be based on your sun sign chart. Now you can get your free sun sign or solar chart when you purchase a transit tutorial product. Those are really awesome, if I say so myself, and it really helps you to understand how I'm using the astrology. So with that being said, I'm going to try something a little different today. I just came out of meditation, and my guides told me to try something a little different today. So this is what we're going to do 9 cards. This will be an open reading, and we will do 9 cards. We will clarify those cards, but there's something extra, or not necessarily extra, that I want to well, let me just get started. Okay, we're gonna wait for the offering paper to burn itself down. There we go. Now one more rifle, and then we'll get started. On a worldwide scale, you can see Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is the second house, so it rules your home, where you live. This could be your house, your apartment, your condo. It rules your values, your personal finances, or physical safety and security. And we can see on a worldwide scale, moving the embassy from one location to another over in Israel has brought about this sudden rebellion. Not that the rebellion hasn't been going on for the past 40 years, but now there is a spike, and so Uranus can bring war, rebellion, chaos, upheaval, but it also represents liberation and freedom. And so that's what you're seeing for those of you who've been paying attention to this. I don't even know to term it an incident, a foreign international incident. I don't know if to determine if it's a political thing. I really don't know how to view it. Anyway, 9 cards down. 10 of Wands. King of Swords. Page of Wands. 3 of Cups. 8 of Cups, and the Magician. 7 of Coins, Ace of Wands. That's interesting. Wow. And the 7 of Swords. Right now, the overall energy of this is the 5 of Swords. So right in the center we have the 8 of Cups. This represents the energy of Saturn in Pisces. This is a very karmic aspect. Pisces is the most karmic sign. Saturn is the most karmic planet. we know that we have a moon, a new moon coming up. And so this could be this particular transition of walking away from something in which someone has been highly invested in, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. This does represent emotions, and this is the idea or the concept that something, what has gone on before, or what they have felt before, or what they have invested emotionally in before, no longer suits them. Saturn represents the idea of limitations. So this could be the idea of being limited or confined emotionally. This could be either through your connections with other people, or basically through yourself. This could be that concept or idea of not being comfortable in your own skin because you know that something has to change. It is about seeking something different, something more, something extraordinary. This is the only eclipsed moon in the deck, but because it's sitting here and we know that we're at the new moon in Taurus, this could be the idea about your values changing around something. Okay, maybe this is, I see that there was a partnership or something new, something to celebrate had come in. Here's this Three of Cups. Okay, some kind of party or some kind of event where there were lots of perhaps females. There was a lot of drinking and joy and merriment and jolliness, but yet we see somebody walking away from this. And what they are walking into, it may appear that they are walking off into the night, leaving everything behind. But instead what they are walking into is the energy of the Magician. So to me, this speaks to the real concept of someone leaving a particular perhaps way of life behind, leaving a group of people behind, knowing that there's something missing within that group, even though it may be a lot of fun and jolliness. There's a Five of Cups here that's missing. We go from a 3 to an 8. So there's a mourning and there's a loss here. Now, for some of you, this may be in regard to an air sign male. This could be a Gemini, Aquarius, and or a Libra male. As a profession, this male might be someone who is in law enforcement. So they would be a police officer, or they would be a soldier. They could be a chef. They could be a dentist. Someone who might use sharp tools and instruments. They could be a chef. Somebody who could, they could be a writer, an editor, a publisher. This person could have that military bearing, or someone who is extremely logical and quite learned, but can be rather dispassionate in one sense, because the person will not allow their logic to overrule their emotions. So this could also be the idea of someone who's trying to keep something at bay. And the reason why I say that is because I'm looking at this 10 of Wands here. And the 10 of Wands, it's a 10. So already we know it's a changing situation, okay? In other words, whatever has been stressful or burdensome, or all of the responsibilities that you've been carrying, it's almost as if the King of Swords is saying that he doesn't even want to think about those things, okay? Because he's trying to remain, I would say, not necessarily focused, but he's just trying not to allow those things to enter into his consciousness. He's well aware of them, and perhaps because he is such a radical, logical person, he does his duty like a soldier would do, or a police officer would do, and never mind the burdens or the stress or the whatever that goes along with it. He recognizes that that is what he's supposed to do, but at the same time, he's trying to wall himself off from those things. Now, there is the Page of Wands here, and so I have 1, 2, court cards. For some, this could be the idea about a child, some kind of responsibilities related to a child. Okay. This row here, 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the 7 of Pentacles, tells me though that this is something that they have gotten over this. Okay, and it's been a long, slow slog. They have now reached a place perhaps where they can celebrate something. Okay, and they've been sharing in the joy of this. This could be like a graduation or a promotion or celebrating something, a birthday party. But we also see that this person has reached a point where they kind of know that they've done all that they can do. And what they've done by doing this, by handling this 10 of Swords, I'm sorry, 10 of Wands, is that they have in effect really done something. They kept their nose to the grindstone, and now they're in a place where they can see a return on the work that they've put in, but yet they're still waiting for the harvest to come in. So maybe this is, you know, that idea, well, I got that project out of the way, or I finally got that particular promotion, or I finally accomplished that thing that I've been working on. I'm really glad I celebrated, but yet there's more. There's that pentacle at the base. So this is now the idea of waiting for the harvest to come in. This can sometimes be the energy of, you know, you've been putting in a lot of work. Your work has been really good. You're able to celebrate that. But this could be the idea also, because this is Saturn in Taurus. Okay, so this could also be the idea that maybe you recognize that all of the work that you've been putting in, you're not necessarily getting paid what you're worth for it. So you're still kind of waiting for the harvest to come in. God, when is this going to pay off for me? Okay. Now, it tells me that the Ace of Wands here tells me that it is going to pay off. That this is a new birth. You get some new kind of inspiration, but it only comes through the idea of walking away from something, leaving something. So for some of you, this could be separating yourself from this King of Swords. Okay, if this is not about the King of Swords, this air male, air sign male, then this could be about, if this represents you, this is the Aquarius card. So this also has that energy of Uranus with it, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So this could be the idea that suddenly you get some mental clarity, and you know that there's something that you need to let go of, because that's what Uranus is asking you to do. He's asking you to let go of some things. Okay, things perhaps that have a long-term emotional value for you, but that it's saying that if this is you, okay, by walking away or releasing those things that you've been hanging on to emotionally, okay, you can get your mojo back. This is an opportunity. So for some of you, this Uranus transit coming either through a person, about a person, surrounding a person, or through yourself based upon your situation, you're going to be given an opportunity to get that kind of a new inspiration, so to speak. But on the other side of this Ace of Wands is this Seven of Swords. Now, this represents Moon in Aquarius, and Moon is not a comfortable, it's not comfortable in Aquarius. Aquarius is very individualistic. It is a freedom-loving concept. It doesn't like to be tied down. It likes to roam. It likes to invent on the fly. It likes to experiment. It wants to see what else is out there. And the Moon is that energy of holding something close, of keeping something dear, of nurturing it, of loving it, of feeding it. So I have these 7 swords. And the 7 swords, it's like, this could be the idea that someone is trying to delve into things that may not be any of their business. This could be the idea of doing something because it's expected of us, or behaving in a way but that's kind of shady, you know what I mean? It could be the appearance of somebody being rather shady. What they're doing is buying time for themselves until they can make a firm decision. See those two swords? This could also be about a lot of times I see the source because they are thoughts, perceptions, communications, and ideas. This is the idea of somebody not necessarily speaking the truth, being a bit deceptive in how they have presented themselves, or what they have said to you, or what they make you think. But we see these two swords, and the two swords say that there is a decision here, and the person is not quite sure what to do. So they may be kind of bullshitting you in one sense, but you can't determine whether or not it's real bullshit, or if, you know, you're not quite sure what to make of it. That's what I'm getting. Now, this is the card of summertime, and so we know we're coming up on the start of summer, the solstice, the summer solstice, is it? I believe it is. But yet here is this Magician card, and this is the only major arcana that I have here. I have 1, 2, 3 wands, 2 swords, 2 cups, and the Magician. Now, sometimes I have seen the Magician and the 7 of Swords show up to mean that there is a great trickster in your presence. Okay, this is somebody who does and says things for show. Some of you may be getting the message. But sometimes I've seen this card to say that really the time has come now for you to determine what is real and what is not. And what you're thinking is going to determine how this 7 of Swords plays out. Now, sometimes I've seen the 7 of Swords to indicate a home move. I've also seen the 7 of Swords to indicate that something that you thought was lost will be returned to you. This includes old ties and relationships, and possibly even like the loss of, maybe you lost a ring, or you can't find a particular object, that's going to be returned to you, because sometimes this card may be about theft. Okay? We're going to look at this 7 of Swords. Now, I feel that whatever this is talking about, the messages come in that there's about some kind of release, a new freedom coming, a new ambition, a new focus, a new drive. There it is. It's changing. Now, I've also seen the 7 of Swords to present itself to say that yes, all of those things that you've been thinking, or all of those things that you wanted, or all of those things you desired will not come to you the way that you think they will. So this card might be a warning to you about how you are thinking about a particular subject, because you can manifest up the thing that perhaps you fear the most, or you're trying to run away from the most. Because sometimes the 7 of Swords is that idea of running away from things instead of facing up to the truth of the reality of it. Now, overhanging this whole reading is this card of Venus in Aquarius. So we have these 3 Aquarian energies here. Now, this card is the idea or the concept of being it is a card of victory in one respect. Okay, sometimes we have to say things to people in order to stand in our own truth. Sometimes other people have to say things to us that may hurt in order to stand in their own truth. Whenever I see this card is indicative of somebody winning out over 2 other people. In fact, those 2 other people have walked away. They have put down their swords. So sometimes this card will show up about arguing just for the sake of being right. Okay? It could also be the idea that you have said something that you wish you did not have, that you wish you could take back. You see how the clouds are all angular? So again, this is some kind of miscommunication. It's a 5. And so what this tells me, overhanging the whole spread, is that this whole situation started with either you yourself speaking your own truth and somebody walking away, sending away 2 people. Okay, but it was only brought about because there was some miscommunication. All right, and some misunderstandings. Now, underneath this is the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is kind of telling me that I think this situation, in a sense, is going to, you're going to get the opportunity, it's going to move. Let me put it that way. It's not only going to move, because this card is indicative of movement, but this could be about news coming in. Now, we do have Mercury square Uranus today. I'm sorry, Mars square Uranus, and that's going to be lasting for like 6 months. And then we also have Mercury conjuncting Uranus. All right? And this could be that message suddenly that comes in that moves everything along. Do know that it's going to move quite quickly and quite rapidly. Okay? Now, we don't know exactly where these 8 wands are what they're aimed at, but this card is sometimes known as air travel, having to take a trip really quick. That's how Uranus can be sometimes, by having to suddenly take a trip. This could be about some news. This could be love at first sight, but this is also telling you to be conscious and cautious of whatever it is you've been waiting on, because it's coming, and it's going to come very swiftly. And basically, you're gonna have to, you know, hang on to whatever the changing circumstances are. It's an 8. Now, 2 7s can speak to inequality issues or self-esteem issues are affecting the relationship. And maybe this is why the person's been acting all shady. Okay? But it can also speak to false friends. Remember I was saying it's like something occurred at a party and or an event where suddenly something is the message comes. And the reason why I say the message comes, he's got that infinity symbol, which is the 8. The 8 of Wands. The message comes. Well, the reason why this happened, and the reason why, and I'm realizing that I've been wasting my time, or I've been doing this the wrong way, or people have been using me, or I'm not getting out of this what I thought it was. Yeah, it was fun, but it no longer holds the meaning for me now. Remember, we're talking about what keeps coming across for me is this idea of love and money. And that is what Taurus, it is about money. It is about your personal finances, everything that you own, earn, or owe. Okay, so this is going to be your loans, your debts, your mortgage, your lease, your car, all of the things that you own. But it also is and liking to have those beautiful things. Okay, it's the earthly plane. But also looking at how what you've been striving for, or what you have, how does that equate with your own self-esteem and self-values? Are you going into debt because it makes you feel good, or it puts a particular image out there? Or is it that all of this stuff that you have now, you're finding out that it no longer supports what your values are? Okay? Love and money are 2 sides of the same coin. Now, I'm going to look at, in effect, I have three ones here. The 10 is a 1 because it's the changing energy, but here also is the Magician. All aces are related to Magician. All 10s are related to the aces, which are related to the magicians. So what we see is a new, and it's kind of a weird I think there's a message coming. And for some of you, it might be today, or definitely around this new. There's a lot of Mercury cards here. This is Mercury in Cancer. This is actually the Mercury card, the Gemini card. Well, it's not the Gemini card, it's the Mercury card. But we also know that Mercury can be the trickster. Okay? So this might be you getting some information quite suddenly out of the blue, but it's asking you to be cautious. We already know that it might be something that could be coming back around, or something that may have you where you might need to travel quite suddenly. But know that Mercury can be the trickster. That's Mercury in Sagittarius. So this could be some news coming to you from afar, or about you having to travel a distance. But Mercury's the trickster. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to go through this again. The reason why I say that is because what was underneath there is the Hermit card. So I'm going to put out there that whatever news that comes to you, and this is the Uranus cycle. So what news conjuncting Mercury today? This could be some news out of the blue. This could be something positive. It could be something negative. It could be something shocking, something that I had somebody contact me. I've been working with her through the transit tutorials, and we've been using the chart based upon the information, the birth time that her mother gave her. Well, her sister she finally was able to track down her long form birth form that had the actual time on there from the hospital when she was born, and the time was 18 hours off. Completely different chart. Okay, that's a Uranus conjunct Mercury. She goes, I was so shocked. So she was shocked herself by that information. But this information, now that we've gotten her correct birth time, completely different chart. Now she's got information to move forward. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. Let's look at our I don't have any other. I've got the 2 7s. 2 7s. Self-confidence issues may cause instability in the relationship. I already told you that. What we're going to do now is we're going to, I don't know why my phone be acting all crazy, cause this Uranus. We're going to look at the only pip cards that we can as they relate to this Magician card. That's going to be the 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, so let's start with the Wands card in relation to this Magician to see what it tells us. All right. It tells me nothing. Let's go to our 3 of Cups. I honestly feel this is emotions changing around a value. Either the value system is going to change and create different or new emotions, or the emotions are changing because they know that their value system has to change. This is what's coming across. I don't know if this means anything to any of you or not. This could just be a message now. The 3 of Cups tells me nothing next to the Magician. Let's look at this 8 of Cups. And the Magician is a funny card. And this could be the idea of meeting somebody who's just a complete trickster, but it's going to show you actually about what you believe and how you believe it. Uranus is the Great Awakener. Next to the Magician, the 8 of Cups tells of someone who has within his grasp the ability to reach their goals. It is informing you that you have the ability to reach your full potential. It also asks that you think and consider very carefully before making any important or major decisions. Do not allow others to sway or hinder you, as only you know what is right for you, so stick to your guns. This could be those people coming in under the guise, here, let me help you. But what they're really trying to do is undermine you. Yes, well, it can be that way sometimes, can it not? Let's look at this Seven of Pentacles next to this Magician, if it tells us anything. It does not. Now, false friends, right? That's what it says. Let's look at this Seven of Swords. I'm going to look at this. I think I can look at this Ace as well. So let me see. The Seven of Swords. This might be a second bite at the apple for some of you, but you're going to have to, I think the best thing is to slow down and take your time. Now, next to another Seven of any suit. Well, it's separated by this Ace of Wands, but this is what it's selling. The Seven of Swords appearing in a spread next to any other seven is an indication that huge life changes are about to take place in your life. It is a strong indication that you have reached an important point in your life and change is inevitable. It tells of starting over under new or different circumstances, and new and favorable conditions abound. And this is why that Two of Swords is important, because like I said, someone doesn't exactly know really what they should do. And because they don't know really what they should do or how it should be done, or even how to communicate what changes need to take place, they may be acting really, really shady. Either way that it goes, before you jump in to offer to fully help somebody, be cautious and think very, very carefully. Let me look at this Ace of Wands. It doesn't necessarily mean that you should not, you know, but you want to, as always, look out for yourself, okay? Put yourself first. That's not selfish, because what you're doing is protecting not only your property, your resources, your time, your emotions, your energy, your thought. You know, protect that. Let's see. Doesn't tell me anything. Now, what I want to do quickly because this row here of the Ten of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Swords, in a sense kind of tells me that this is somebody who's almost at the end of their rope. They can no longer support or devote time or energy to what it is they want to do, but yet they're not sure about it. Okay, they're not sure. And so this could be that idea of somebody contacting you or looking you up on the internet, somebody coming back around and sending out feelers, so to speak. Okay, they're sending out feelers to gauge your reaction, or where you are, or how you feel, or what's being said. And that is why the cards are telling me to be careful. This does not mean do not engage. It just means to be careful. Okay, to wait. There might be a more auspicious time for you to actually act. Just wait. Oh, how funny is this? The date, the time frame for this card is May 11th through the 20th. So this started on a Friday. Okay, for some of you. You may have heard from somebody, or noticed that somebody viewed you, or somebody contacted you, or somebody texted you, or somebody called you. Okay, maybe you did this. Called somebody up out of the blue, or texted them, or something like that. To me, this Seven of Swords is saying that somebody's kind of sneaking around trying to ascertain what the weather is like there. Is it friendly or is it not friendly? That's what I'm getting, okay? We're going to look at the Seven of Swords because this is the outgoing energy. Okay. Now, isn't that funny? These cards are funny, funny, funny. This card, the Eight of Cups, can also be about going on a trip, like a vacation. But again, what's coming across, I saw an old interpretation that I had never seen where it says that if you've been waiting on message or news to come in, it will be arriving soon. That's Mercury in Cancer. Whatever this Eight of Cups is, it is it is a chance to transform or to create something very new. Let's pull the rest of these cards out of here. Dinari. And the stanza. Well, isn't that interesting? Now, for some of you, could be messages about, or a letter or document, an email, a fax, having to do with money and finances. This says security, right? But then here is the stanza, the card of communication, but there's nobody there. To me, the Dinari is also speaking about the concept of security, valuables. What do you lock? What do you do with the things you care about the most? You protect them and you lock them away. Well, here comes this stanza card. And it's almost as if you hear from the person and then they kind of vanish and disappear. Okay? The connection lets you know that that person is thinking about you, or that person has thought about you, or that person feels that there is something there, but then all of a sudden you don't hear from them again. It's like they surface and then they kind of disappear. They are not gone. They're still there, but you're not going to hear from them for a while. It's like they pop their head up, okay, and then they disappeared again. Let's look at this Eight of Cups. I don't think this person is ready yet. I think this energy of Uranus has indeed perhaps awakened something for them. But we still don't know what that is yet. And Uranus can be in either way. Kind of a thing. The Il Nemico. Isn't that funny? The precious presence, or the gift not unselfish. And the falsità. Now, look at this. See, he's running away from one group or celebration or party. Maybe this is somebody who likes to have a good time all the time. But now we see the person running away from that. Okay? That's my enemy now. But while they're running away, they're also running into a gift that is not unselfish. It's almost like he's walking into that. And then here comes the lies and the deceit and the deception with the magician. Now, that's one interpretation. The other interpretation that I'm getting is that it's almost as if the person is running into himself. Because this is about it's like all of a sudden all of the lies or the deceptions that they maybe have perpetrated or they have done are now coming back to them. Remember, I said Saturn in Pisces is the most karmic. Saturn is the most karmic sign. Pisces is the most karmic. Saturn is the most karmic planet. Pisces is the most karmic sign. I'm going to do this whole row. Then I'm going to pull 3 Lenormand cards to see if the Lenormands can give me a bit more information about this. I do suggest isn't this funny? Look. Look. Sometimes these cards are so funny. But that falls on a 7 of Swords. That's why I think the person has popped up out of the blue and then they're going to disappear again. Something's being triggered for them. Consolante sorpresa. The dono maritata. And another 3 of Cups. They've been working and working and working. They've been striving away. You know, it's not really what I want, but I'll take it. This could be the idea or the concept that they've been maybe supporting a wife with children or a woman with children. And they have done so in one respect, in a glad sense or a happy manner. This could, remember I said this could be about a child in here. That's what pages represent. This could be the idea of someone who's just been doing whatever they've been doing because of the kid, right? Men go through that too, not just women. And he's been able to successfully do that, but he's not seeing the payout that he wants. Wow. I do think that some of you will be hearing from this individual very, very soon. And this will be the start. There's a lot of fire energy behind that. Now let's see if I can pull up any more information. This is the new thing that I said I was going to try. I'm going to pull out 3 Lenormand cards. I bought a new deck, but I just don't really like the new Lenormand deck a lot. So I'll have to purchase another deck of these. Contracts, commitments, marriage, an unwavering loyalty. There's the dog. Now. An unwavering loyalty and a commitment to a child. But this could also be a secret contract with a new person. Okay, maybe an individual younger. This could also be just the idea that this is there is a connection here, but also that something new. The child can be a beginning or something new, something small, something quick. A business deal with a friend, a short contract with a friend. So there's many connotations here. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull, because I have not used these in a long time, we're going to use the Heart Oracle Tarot. I think this, well, There you have it. Remember I said that Eight of Wands was movement? The Chariot card has shown up. That's the move card. Okay, so something is being activated at a core level. See the energy swirling around the heart? Let me see. It's a major arcana. The keywords are act, direct, master, discipline, focus, and effort. Now is a time to be proactive regarding matters of the heart. If you're looking for a relationship, take the initiative to find one. Take advantage of the many ways to meet your soulmate. This card is about action, action, action. If your current relationship is not moving in the direction you wish, do whatever is required to shift the direction. You are the master of your own destiny, and that includes your relationships. Don't wait for others to make the first move or set the tone of the relationship. Take charge. Creating and sustaining a good relationship requires discipline. It's not enough to be in a relationship. You must invest in it as well. Those are those 7 pentacles. Be present in and focus on the relationship. Give every relationship the opportunity and time that it needs and deserves to flourish and grow. Now is a time to focus on your needs and the needs of your partner. Make the effort to maintain healthy boundaries for yourself and to respect the boundaries of others. While rewarding relationships require effort, there must be a balanced effort from both partners. Perhaps it is time to examine your relationships. Are both partners putting forth equal effort to make the relationship work? Are you comfortable with the amount of effort your relationships require of you? If any relationship feels draining, or is it not worth the effort? If any relationship feels draining, or it's, quote, not worth the effort, then perhaps it is time to move on. The affirmation of this card is, I take charge of my relationships. That's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped you through. If you'd like to book a reading or anything like that, or one of my other services, my web address is down on the bottom of the screen. You can also find it in the About box section, and also where else can you find it? I think you might be able to click the link up where my picture is for WordPress. That's where my website is, and that'll take you directly over. And so until next time, thank you for allowing me to read for you. Namaste.